Renovating is an interesting thing, really. I feel like it's either very loud or very quiet, and there isn't really any in between. Hi, welcome to number 95. My name is Leah and we are renovating our 1930s period property, and we do hope you stick around, and most importantly, let us know in the comments what part of your renovations you're up to. We'd love it if you could tell us any tips or tricks, because quite frankly, we need all the help we can get. Although right now you're witnessing me picking apples with my apple picker in our garden, which is a very easy, very therapeutic job. But you will soon see the noisy parts. The part that puts everything into perspective, but also the parts that make me feel alive. It's the noise of progression. A couple weeks ago, we made the decision to get rid of the greenhouse from our garden. Now, before anyone worries, I do want to explain myself here, because I know that sounds like a sin in itself. The greenhouse was incredibly dated. It was rusty, it was broken, and quite frankly, it just was not working in its full capacity. It just wasn't good enough to grow what we wanted to grow in there. Other reasons though was, if you look at our garden from a bigger perspective, you will see it really breaks up the garden. And although we have space, the garden isn't enormous and we want it to feel bigger than it is. We did also think about keeping the tiles where they are, because there's actually slabs underneath where the greenhouse was, and we wanted to create a cute little fire pit area. Let us know what you think about that. We thought this was probably the best use of the space and really will bring some coziness to it, especially after the long work days and the long weekends renovating, because if you know, you know. And I will say that we will eventually get a really nice greenhouse again. My dream greenhouse would be a semi-bricked greenhouse. That is my ultimate goal. I'll put up a picture of the kind of vibe I'm going for, so don't you worry, there will be a greenhouse in our garden eventually. In the dining room, which is currently the room that we are fully gutting and renovating, We are in the process of removing the skirting board. Now, I don't know why I thought this job would be simple, but it was definitely the opposite of simple. I'm not sure if you can quite tell in this video, but hopefully in the next few clips you'll be able to see what we're dealing with. Now, we're actually dealing with pipe work for the radiators, which currently are not on the wall, as you can see. The pipe work actually goes into the wall, so we're having to cut around the pipe to get to remove the whole skirting board basically. And to be honest, we have been very anxious about this job. It's been a job where, I don't know why, but for me, water is something I just don't want to go near. You know, we all know how this works. If you hit a pipe, it's not great, and especially in an old property, you just don't want to risk the damp, you know? Anyway, we bought this tool, and I will put on the screen what tool it is because I don't know right this second, but I will say it's definitely worth the money. We picked this up from Toolstation. It was a slightly pricier tool than we originally kind of went in looking for. However, I will say right now, and I'm sure a lot of you renovating, if you've bought tools before, you'll probably agree with me here, is that the tools that you buy, if you buy them cheap, you're going to get cheap. If you buy pricier, you're going to get a pricier result. And obviously, when we're talking about pipe work and being near water pipes, it's just not something we wanted to chance. And I want to also be real here. We are going to also be doing the same thing on the other wall. And so for us, it actually made more sense to buy this tool than anything else, because we were going to get a plumber in to kind of sort it all out for us. But it was going to cost a couple £100. And because we'd bought this tool, it actually saved us a lot of money in the long run. And actually, it was more straightforward than we thought. So what I will say to that, my tip of the day, if you like, is to just trust yourself more. Do the research first is my ultimate tip. Always research. If you're not comfortable with a tool, don't buy it yet. Go online, research it, know the tool before you pick it up. Because if you're anything like me, when you get the tool, you're just excited and quite frankly, you want to try it out. So just do your research first, buy the tool that's going to fit your project. Don't go for the cheapest one, but don't go for the most expensive one, obviously. And you'll get a good result, in my opinion. And I will say, the good thing about this part of what you're seeing now, we are very excited to be removing this from the pipework. I think this job we thought was going to be a massive job, and I still will say, I thought removing skirting board was going to be a lot simpler, but it's not that simple, and it's not that easy to just pry it off the wall. So if you're thinking that's how it's going to be, then I would come down for a reality check, my dear, because it definitely is not that easy. For this specific job that I'm talking about here, that I'm showing you, I would recommend this tool and a crowbar to pull the skirting board away from the wall. We don't have one of those. My husband forgot to pick one up today when he bought that tool, because I think he was probably just excited about the tool, which, fair, by the way, fair game. But yeah, so that's what's going to be happening. So in the next vlog, you're probably going to see a bigger, maybe not a huge transformation of this room, but Removing the skirting board is going to be a whole job. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to it because I think it's going to make a huge difference when we get new skirting board. So make sure you tune in for the next video, and I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe and give the video a like, and leave in the comments what your favourite part of the renovation is for you. But if you're not renovating, then let me know how you found me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!